What's up, YouTube? So I'm back after not posting for about a month. I was waiting on all of this stuff to come in. As you saw in the thumbnail of the video, I'm doing a full suspension on the GT500. I had the stock sway bar already. It's just not on, obviously. And since I was already going to do everything, I thought I might as well get new sway bar end links. These are the old ones. So the new ones are going to be right in here. So I went with the Eibach sportlines. They're, I think, a 2.3 inch drop in the rear, and I think 1.7 in the front. So it shouldn't be sitting much different to the setup I have now. The only reason is, I think I mentioned in previous videos, the coilovers are shot. They're Viking coilovers, but I don't know how old they are. You know, they've been on since I've bought the car, and the previous owner had bought them, and he's had the car for years. So I don't know when he bought them. But new suspension, I went with Koni STR.T, the orange ones. I was gonna go with the yellows because they're adjustable, but I've been waiting for those for months, and they haven't been restocked because I'm guessing because of Corona. But these weren't in stock either, but they came in stock, or they got back into stock in what, maybe a week before I bought them, because before that they were out of stock too. And I had looked into everything. I was gonna go with the Eibach Pro Kit at first, but I didn't think I was going to like how it would sit in the rear. The front would have been fine, but it would have been a little bit too high for my liking in the back. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take all of this off and, you know, put everything on. Everything should be good. I checked everything. Everything's fine. But yeah, everything on here is pretty much out. What I also did end up doing, because of how big this drop is, and because of the issue I've been having with this, I got Maximum Motorsport caster camber plates, which I will also be putting on. I forgot which side it is, but I think it's this side. I'm unable to get it aligned perfectly because of the camber on this side. It's too negative, I think. So yeah, that's why I ended up buying those, and especially because it's recommended anyways with this kind of drop, and it'll be the same as this, so I can see why I needed them in the first place. But yeah, after this, the car is going to be perfect, besides obviously cosmetic things like I mentioned in the previous video, with the hood not lining up with the fender. But as soon as I'm done with this, the plan is to take the car probably to Affinity Performance to get it aligned, probably get the pan hard bar adjusted, because I do have an adjustable one. And you know, obviously when you do suspension, you have to get alignment. So that's the plan for right now. I'll probably make an appointment with them later today for another day later in the week. And after that, I'm going to make an appointment with the shop that painted the bumper so that they can blend it. I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's just a little bit off. Maybe you guys can't notice it, but for me, obviously, you know, I see it in person. It might not bother other people, but it bothers me, and it's part of my warranty, so they don't care. They'll go ahead and fix it, no problem. And you know, like I mentioned before with the hood, I have been thinking, because there's a few mods I'm planning on buying, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put the cowl hood back on. Obviously not right now, but sometime soon in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm not going to do a how-to video just because, you know, people have done this before. It's somewhere on YouTube. So I'm just gonna speed through this and just give little minor updates as I go. But I'm gonna go ahead and start with the front first. So let's go ahead and do that. This whole side is out. I just took a little bit longer because I was removing the line from the coilovers. There's just a little extra step, because you want to be careful with this. You don't want to mess these up when you're taking everything out. Since you're dropping this, if you don't loosen this, you probably might tear it somewhere, or, you know, just being extra careful. But yeah, that one's good. So here I have the setup. Here's the old coilover, like I said, they were Viking. And then here's the setup right now with the Konis, the sport lines, and then this part right here is the little rubber piece you need from the strut mount. Usually either the 05 to 10 stock one or the GT500 one. This though, because I didn't have, you know, the stock strut mount since I bought the car, like this, and it came with the coilovers, I would have had to buy the GT500 strut mount and then take that part off of, because that's the bottom piece of it. But they're like $130 for the pair, and I was like, why would I have to spend $130 just to break them apart and use them? So I looked them up. I found these on eBay, and all it is, it's just a rubber piece that splits up the springs from the caster camber plates, because those are going to sit right here, and obviously you can't have them sitting right on top of the spring. So I'm going to go ahead and put the caster camber plates together. I've never done that before, but from what I heard, the instructions are like super easy and straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, put it on each one, and then just throw them on, and then after throw on the sway bar, and the whole front should be done. I don't see it taking that much longer. And then the rears, since I've done most of this before, I put this on the 3-valve I used to have. You guys didn't know I had a 3-valve. If you check out some of my old videos, I had a blue one, blue CS. I had it on this suspension. It rode amazing. That's why I went with it again. But yeah, the rear end, super easy to do. You just take off the, or take the bolt off for the sway bar, put the jack on the diff, and then it'll basically just drop. There's just 2 bolts for the shocks in the back, on the, like, if you open the trunk, one on each side, one on the bottom, and then the springs, you literally just slip them into place. Super easy. This will take maybe like 20 minutes. The front usually takes a little bit longer. But yeah, that's almost done. So as soon as I put the caster camber plates on, I'll go ahead and show you guys when I throw it on. Yeah, I'm going to do it. This is everything that comes with the Maximum Motorsport caster camber plates. Just like you see, everything is apart. It doesn't look difficult, you know, everything looks straightforward. Plus, with these instructions, everything should be cool. And I've heard stories that they accidentally sometimes mess up and they'll send you like the same side, but it looks fine to me. Yeah, it's fine. So, you know, I'm just gonna put it together. I just wanted to show you guys how it looks coming out the box. You know, it just came in this, and it's just all wrapped in paper. Very well shipped, to be honest. I heard these are the best to get, so that's why I ended up getting these. All right, y'all, so this is how they look with it on. Pretty simple install, not really difficult to do. Just like a little minor extra step. The other one's over there, it's already done. I'm just gonna throw this in here. Just these 2 down here, putting the brake line back onto it, and then just mounting the 4 up top right here, and the front should be done. All right, so both struts are on completely. Both sides are completely done. Before I head over to the back, I'm trying to put on the sway bar. Just running into a little problem. These, I guess, are so old that, like, this wasn't stuck inside anymore, so this was just spinning, so I wasn't able to take the nut off. So I'm just breaking them off. Probably gonna put some WD-40 on it right here, and then be able to put on the new ones. So I finished at the front. I decided to back it in just because it's easier to lift it up with the jack and leave it on the jack stands when it's backed in versus the slope here. But obviously they still have to settle a little bit more, but just like I thought, they're sitting at about the same as the Vikings were. But just by moving it, because I just drove it here and then backed it in, but just by moving it that much, I could already tell the whole front end is just, it feels so smooth but stiff at the same time. The other ones, they were just clunking and a bunch of popping noises and stuff, so those are just gone. But yeah, so the front just feels amazing. The rear is probably gonna sit, if not the same, maybe a tiny bit lower or a tiny bit higher, but roughly it's about to be the same. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up. Back should be fairly quicker than the front. Just the front takes a little bit more work. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start this and finish it up. For those of you that have never switched out your shocks or your struts, for the shocks, since I really didn't go over the struts, the struts is only 2 bolts on the bottom, and you got to move the brake lines and just the nuts on the top. For this one, for the shocks, it's just this one right here. It's 1 bolt, this bolt right here. This is the one for the shock. It's a 15 mil, as well as this one that you have to remove. It's the one that connects to the sway bar. It's the easiest way to do it, because if you get rid of this one and this one on both sides, as long as you have your jack, obviously be safe. If you start lowering it, the whole rear end will drop, and that'll give you enough clearance to put your new springs in, as well as you can put your new shock in. For the shock though, you either need somebody to help you out, or find a way to put a wrench here and hold this, because if you don't, and you try to spin out the nut that's in the trunk, this one right here, which is also a 15, then it'll just continue to spin and you won't be able to get it out. So yeah, the back is pretty easy compared to the front. Front's not so hard either, it's just more time consuming than the rear. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do that on the other side. Just wanted to show you guys really quick what you have to do on the rear to get them off and swap it out. All right, y'all, car's completely done. I took a little bit longer because I had a minor issue with a few things, but everything is good now. As you can tell, car's still sitting really low, and the springs still need to settle a little bit. I am perfectly happy with the way it's sitting. Obviously it's going to sit a little bit lower. I hope the front sits just a little bit lower. Don't mind the dirty fingers. But yeah, so car's completely done. The only thing I wasn't able to do today was the front sway bar, because I don't have the nuts that hold it in the center under the engine. So I'm waiting until probably like tomorrow. I'm gonna try to look into what size they are so I can go buy some, and then that's pretty easy to do. If anything, I just need to take off the front wheels. You know, that's something you can do in a few minutes. But car's good. I can't wait to get the sway bar on and then get it aligned so that I can drive it and not have to worry about like clunking noises. And like I mentioned earlier, the car was just horrible when I was driving. It would always clunk and stuff. But now that I have the new suspension on, and now that I have the caster camber plates on, I should be able to get my alignment perfect, both in the front and in the back, thanks to my adjustable panhard bar. So car should be good really soon. As you can tell, I don't have a spoiler. I have been considering buying one. I have the old one right over there. I can put that on, but I don't know if you guys showed you guys the imperfection it had on the bottom. You can't really see it, but I noticed it, so I don't want it on there. I'm kind of digging the no spoiler look. I eventually am going to get a spoiler, but for now I think I'm going to rock it like this for a while I have this hood on. I think if I had the cowl hood on, that would kind of look really weird, but since I don't have it on, it fits kind of nice. You can tell there's no snake on there. I do have the badges, I just haven't thrown them on because I have to put 3M tape on it, but I will do that soon. Besides that, that's basically it for today. Car's good, you can tell it's looking good. But yeah, I'm just happy I got it done. So if you guys are considering getting new shocks and struts, obviously it's a really weird time to want to order stuff because of Rona, but I can recommend these. This is why I bought these again, because I had these on my 3-valve. If you wait a little longer for shocks and struts, I'd recommend either Bilstein shocks or Koni yellows. That's originally what I was gonna get, Koni yellows, but they're not in stock, so I ended up getting these because I want to move the car. Viking, I've heard they're really good. The problem is these are used. I don't know how old they are, so I can't really speak for these. They lasted maybe like 5 months. Well, not 5 months like total, but 5 months with me owning them until they started giving me problems. So yeah, they might be really old. If somebody wants them and wants to like fix them, I don't know if you can fix them or not. I don't know if that's a thing, but if you're interested, hit me up on Instagram, and then, you know, we can figure something out. But I'll let them go for cheap if you want them, because they're basically trash to me. Nobody wants them, I'll just end up throwing them away. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. I will be posting a new video soon. The only reason I was on break was because I was waiting for my parts. There's nothing really I can record. You know, there's not really many shows. Even if there is, I don't really feel that comfortable going out so often for, you know, content when there's big groups of people. And besides that, you know, I couldn't move the car anyways, so that's why it's just been sitting. But now that I have this, you know, I'm in the process of getting everything back together and good. So after this, I am planning to get a few mods, and I am planning to get a 91 tune, and I'll probably switch in between 91 octane and E85, just because E85 is such a pain to daily, and this is my daily driver, or it was before it broke. But yeah, it's gonna be my daily again, so I need to get 91, just because I hate having to go to specific gas stations. It's such a hassle. The day I have a second car, I'm not gonna be using this, or not as a daily. But yeah, if you guys like the video, go ahead, drop a like. And if you guys like the fitment, go ahead and order yourself some Sportlines and some Konis. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.